All right, welcome. In the background, we have Monk's Dream, the Thelonious Monk Quartet. How many musicians in a quartet? Who was Thelonious Monk? So we have four novels here for Black History Month. Let's look at the first page of each and the cover. So this first one here is Piecing Me Together. Okay. New York Times bestseller by Renee Watson. And you can see the award there. All right. Newbery honor. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, number one, Espanol, Spanish language. I am learning to speak, to give myself a way out, a way in. Okay, that's chapter one. It's done already. So that was too short. So chapter two, tiene éxito, to exceed, to succeed. When I learned the Spanish word for succeed, I thought it was kind of ironic that the word exit is embedded in it. Like the universe was telling me that in order for me to make something of this life, I'd have to leave home, my neighborhood, my friends, and maybe I've already started. For the past 2 years, I've attended St. Francis High School on the other side of town, away from everything and everyone I love. Tomorrow is the first day of junior year, and you'd think it was my first day as a freshman, the way my stomach is turning. I don't think I've ever get used to being at St. Francis while the rest of my friends are at Northside. I begged Mom to let me go to my neighborhood high school, but she just kept telling me, Jade, honey, this is a good opportunity, one I couldn't pass up. It's the best private school in Portland, which means it's mostly white, which means it's expensive. I didn't want to get my hopes up. What was the point of applying if, once I got accepted, Mom wouldn't be able to afford for me to go? But Mom had done her research. She knew St. Francis offered financial aid, so I applied, and once I got accepted, I received a full scholarship. So I kind of had to go. So here I am, trying to pick out something to wear that doesn't look like I'm trying too hard to impress or that I don't care about how I look. St. Francis doesn't have uniforms, and even though everyone says it doesn't matter how you look on the outside, it does, especially at St. Francis. I bought clothes with the money I made from working as a tutor at the rec center over the summer. I offered Mom some of the money I earned to help with the bills or at least the groceries, but she wasn't having any of that. She told me to spend it on my school clothes and supplies. I saved some of it, though, just in case. All right, that's enough of that one. Piecing Me Together, Renee Watson. Next up, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, which is also a Netflix film. All right, take a quick look at that. All right, there you got the motherland there. North, Mediterranean Sea. East there, I guess you could say, is the Red Sea, Indian Ocean. And to the west is the South Atlantic Ocean. Okay, south of that, I guess you could say would be Antarctica, right? Australia, south. The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Did we get the author's name? Yes, by William Kamkwamba and Brian Mealer. Okay, just a little bit of this. The machine was ready. After so many months of preparation, the work was finally complete. The motor and blades were blotted and secured. The chain was taut and heavy with grease, and the tower stood steady on its legs. The muscles in my back and arms had grown as hard as green fruit from all the pulling and lifting. And although I'd barely slept the night before, I'd never felt so awake. My invention was complete. It appeared exactly as I'd seen it in my dreams. That's the part of the prologue. Let's look at chapter 1, page 1. Okay. Chapter 1, When Magic Ruled the World. My name is William Kamkwamba, and to understand the story I'm about to tell, you must first understand the country that raised me. Malawi is a tiny nation in southeastern Africa. On a map, it appears like a flatworm burrowing its way through Zambia, Mozambique, and Tanzania, looking for a little room. Malawi isn't often called the warm heart of Africa, which says nothing about its location, but everything about the people who call it home. The Kamkwambas hail from the center of the country from a tiny village called Masitala, located on the outskirts of the town of Wimbe. You might be wondering what an African village looks like. Well, ours consists of about 10 houses, each one made of mud bricks and painted white. For most of my life, our roofs were made from long grasses that we picked near the swamps, or dambos in our Chichua language. The grasses kept us cool in the hot months, but during the cold nights of winter, the frost crept into our bones, and we slept under an extra pile of blankets. Okay, and that was The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Next up, Zora and Me, The Sumner by Victoria Bond. Okay, looks nice. Okay, this beginning, I guess this is like a prologue too. Eatonville, Florida, September 29th, 1956. Granddaughter, every day since I was 14, the scar on my left hand reminds me of your grandfather, my dear Teddy. He told me that the scar would fade, and he was right. It mostly did. But when I hold my hand up in the bright noonday light, a shadow of that 1905 scar survives. Everyone in Eatonville suffered terribly that year, including my best friend Zora. Grief and loss afflicted us both. It chased us through a grove in the lightning and rain, at kitchen tables and on porch swings, at swamp banks and in dark cabins. Loss bore down on our necks with icy blue and stinging breath. The faded scar on my hand is a testament to how Teddy and Eatonville helped me to heal in place. They were my anchors, my salve, my proof of miracles. Okay, that's just a little bit of that. Chapter 1. Mama's employers, the Brays, had gone on summer vacation to the South Carolina shore. Usually when the Brays went away, Mama looked after Mrs. Bray's old aunt, Miss Pitty. But in the summer of 1905, Mama had somehow convinced Mrs. Bray to take the elderly Miss Pitty along with them. It was the first vacation she had ever been granted in a lifetime of labor. Triumphant, Mama declared her intention to keep right on working full days with me. Working with me, working for us was different. It's almost hard to believe now that I was just 13 when I started taking in laundry from Lake Maitland a couple days a week. I boiled water in a zinc barrel and dropped tablecloths and sheets in with the lye soap I made. All right, there you go. Zora and Me, The Sumner. Okay, and then we have Becoming Muhammad Ali, a novel by James Patterson and Kwame Alexander. All right, this is the last one I have for you. The wonders and woes in this novel are true or based on truth and real things that happen to real people or real people we imagine to be true for real. Round 1. I remember everything. You probably would have too. That night was a piece of American history. The Clay family phone was dusky black with a rotary dial, and it sat on a wooden table in the neat as a pin living room of the little house on Grand Avenue in Louisville, Kentucky. Some 20 of us were crammed like sardines into the room, waiting for that phone to ring. Waiting for Cassius to call home. It was February night in 1958, and I remember it like it was yesterday. My best friend Cassius was 300 miles north in Chicago, and that night he was fighting for a championship in the Golden Gloves boxing tournament. Cassius wasn't a professional yet, just an amateur. Tall but a little skinny and a lot raw. Only 16 years old like me. Okay, and this one has pictures in it. I'm Lucius, by the way. Nice to meet you. You can call me Lucky. All my friends do. Okay, so there you have it right there. So you see how it is right there. Not like your traditional book. That's it. You should try to pick a book and read for your own pleasure. Okay? All right, bye-bye.